One of the things that you're going to use quite a lot with Actiware is the Actiware Communications Console. And that Communications Console drives all communication between the Actiware software and any devices that you wish to connect. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you an example of how the Communications Console works and talk about some of its various features and functions for you. Thing to know about the Actiware software, is that when you change the status of what it's communicating with, you'll typically get an update on the screen automatically. The console will pop up and it'll show you what's going on. If you ever don't get that coming up automatically, a really easy way to get there is just go ahead and click on the double-headed arrow button here, and it'll bring the console up, and it'll give you the status of everything that's currently connected to the device, to the computer. It takes just a second, and it's going to go through all the different USB ports, etc., and find everything that's out there. What you'll see here is that I've got a number of different devices connected, and I can show you how that changes when you do things. But you're going to see things kind of pop in and out of communication. Like, for example, I have a Spectrum Pro connected. I'm going to go ahead and disconnect that, and then what you'll see happen is suddenly it'll update and it'll reconnect, and you'll see that Actiwatch Spectrum Pro will no longer be connected to the system. So that's just an example of it showing up. So you can see it's got a problem connecting to it because I actually disconnected it, so it's not there anymore. So it's something that you just have to be aware of. I'm going to go ahead and plug it back in. But just to give you an idea of what the status is like of things, that you can go ahead and just do that and then hit refresh and see what's going on. So real quick thing about some of the other features and functions here for you to know. Let's work with the Spectrum and the Actiwatch 2 as an example. Those particular devices are not quite as straightforward as some of the others because there's a dock involved as well. So you can see in this case I've got an Actiwatch Spectrum dock, and I've got no logger in it. And so if I were to change that suddenly and put a logger in there, I should get a picture of the Actiwatch Spectrum in that dock. So I'm going to go ahead and put a device in that dock, and then go ahead and have it update by refreshing the status, and you should see that the logger appear, and it'd be able to be something I could configure or retrieve data from if I need to. So yeah, here it is. You can see it's ready for download. And the same thing is true with the Actiwatch 2. You can see right now I have an Actiwatch 2 in the dock. I'm going to go ahead and remove that from the dock, and then hit refresh status, and it should go ahead then and update it, and you'll see that you'll just have a picture of a dock there. So that's how that works. Other quick thing for you to know with the Actiwatch Spectrum Plus and Pro is that these particular devices you can connect multiple of to the computer, and when you do that, it'll display a list of all of the devices that are connected in this drop down. So right now I don't have any connected. If I have one, it would show logger 1, for example, there. If I had 12 of them connected, it would have a drop down that would have logger 1 through 12. And each of the devices would have a specific number on the face that would show you which one it is, so you know which one you're configuring or retrieving data from, etc. So that's pretty much how the configuration console works. Other things to know about is that you can use it to put devices to sleep. So for example, this Actiwatch Spectrum that I have here, if let's say I've downloaded the data from it already and I want to put it to sleep, I can do that by just hitting the sleep button, and it'll tell me that, hey, you're about to put this in low power sleep mode. You really want to do that? And if you do, it's not going to collect data, and that's fine. We recommend doing this for any device that you're not going to be collecting data with. So anytime you finish data collection, put them to sleep, fully charge them if they're Actiwatch 2s or Spectrum Pros and Pluses, and then go ahead and put them on the shelf for a while. It is recommended you bring them out periodically and recharge them. In the case of Actiwatch 2s, every couple of months is a good thing to do. For the Actiwatch Spectrum Pro and Plus, I'd do it at least every 9 to 10 months to make sure that you're making sure that everything's in good shape. In this case, with this device, I'm going to go ahead and put to sleep now, so it'll be good to go. So that's really all you need to know about the communications console at this point. Certainly, there are more specific information about how to configure and retrieve data from devices that I'd recommend you go and see. But really, just this is kind of an overview of how the console works. So good luck with your Actiwatches. If you have questions, you can certainly email us at respironicsservice10@philips.com or call us by phone at 1-800-685-2999. Thanks very much, and good luck with your Actiwatches.